today. So recently I was talking to my friend about our childhood and our school days. And suddenly my friend says, stop. Do you realize that all these things that we are talking about, it happened more than 30 years ago? How many of you have similar experience? Something of a distant past, but seems just like yesterday. Yes. And when that happens to me, it reminds me of this song. 时光一逝永不回，往事只能回味。I see that a lot of you find this familiar. That means you are the same era as me. For those who are not familiar with this song, what it says is, the past has gone and will not return. And we can only experience the past through our memories. Just now outside, people were asking me which room I am. And I said the green room, midlife. I said, huh? You're midlife already? Yes, I'm in the midlife category. In fact, another 1.5 years more, I'll be 50. And if you think about it, unless I get to live more than 100 years old, it means that I've already crossed my halfway mark. Death is getting nearer. These days, I've been attending more funerals than weddings. And that feels very real, personal, and scary. You know what they say about when you're facing death, your life flashes past before your eyes? So recently, I had a health scare, and I really had some of these flashbacks. Moments that I realized there were so many things that I wanted to do but I did not do, or things that I've done but I regret. And my biggest regret was that I did not get to spend enough time with my children when they were small. Well, before I got married, I was this very idealistic mother, or a very idealistic woman, who thinks that, oh, I'm going to be a perfect mother. I'm going to stay at home all day and take care of my children. I even thought of homeschooling. And I have friends who did that, and I'm so inspired by them. But when I got married and got my own children, I tell you, some days, I just wish that they would just leave me alone so that I have more me time. And so it was, I think as my kids were growing up, I don't think that I was always very present. Very fortunately, they grew up well, despite me not doing a lot of things. Today, they are 21 years old and 18 years old, and I'm very, very proud of them. But I still have times when I think back and ask myself, if only I had been more around during their formative years, would life have been different? Would they have achieved more? You see, I'm very much a career woman, and yet, as I'm reaching 50s, I find myself that I'm no longer confident of whether my career can be there for me for life. Just now, and our speaker spoke about that as well. Around me, there are so many very capable people who lost their job, who are retrenched because the economy is not good. Their companies are downsizing, restructuring, because AI is taking over some of the jobs. The future looks really bleak for someone who's crossing the halfway mark. What if it's all downhill from now? What if people no longer find me relevant? What if they think that I'm useless and I should just wait to die? That's not the life that I want. I feel that I have so much more to give to society, to others. So I ask myself, how can I better live my life while crossing the halfway mark? So I decided to ask people who are more senior than me, how do they live their lives after after crossing the halfway mark. And I met people who are very inspiring. So I have this friend who's 60 years old, and he decided to pick up snowboarding as a hobby recently. And he loved it so much. He went on to take the snowboarding instructor certification, and now he's a fully certified snowboarding instructor. Another person that I know from a hiking community, he's 70 years old and he can run a full marathon. Yeah, wow. And not just physically, not letting the age define what we can do, but also mentally. You know, AI is now the hot thing, and a lot of my friends are experimenting with AI. But I realized that the ones that are best at AI are not the young kids, you know. It's the older ones, because they have so much experience, but maybe just not always very good with their memory. With AI, they can plug in all their wisdom, all their knowledge, and they are usually more patient because they are older. So they can teach this AI again and again and again. And their AI tools are superb. Not only those who are in the corporate world, but even housewives. So one of my friends recently has turned her AI assistant into her chief of staff to help her plan her family finances, her schedules, and most importantly, it keeps track of what's in the fridge, and it can tell her what to cook today. Yes. And of all the people who have been very inspiring to me, there's one particular gentleman. He's unfortunately unable to join us today, but many of you might have met him at events. His name is Uncle Liu. Uncle Liu is a retired Air Force pilot who started writing and publishing his own book after he turned 70. And to date, he has 3 books. Why does Uncle Liu inspire me so much? That's because since I was very young, even in primary school, I had dreamt of becoming an author. But only dream lah. All this while, I was like, who's going to buy my book? Who's going to read my book? Is my story even worth telling? But after hearing about Uncle Liu's experience, I decided I'm going to be like him. So I started writing my book. And to my surprise, it took me less than half a year to finish a book. And I had wasted more than 40 years just thinking, to write or not to write. And I'm happy to share with you today that my book is now published on Amazon.com, and it's made it to the bestseller list of the new releases. This book is about my personal journey of dealing with negative thoughts. And I've come up with a framework on dealing with negative thoughts. So if this is a topic that is concerning you, I will be happy to connect after this. So back to the topic of crossing the halfway mark. So I've decided I'm not going to spend all my time in the past regretting what I've done or what I've not done. I'm also not going to spend all my time looking into the future, worrying about what will happen or what will not happen. Instead, I'm going to live in the present, make full use of every moment, and live my life to the fullest through learning, through rediscovering myself, and through helping other people. I'm happy today that I'm part of this community, and I look forward to connecting with all of you after today. I started my speech talking about memories. Let me end my speech with this beautiful verse from the song Memories. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new life, and I mustn't give in. When the dawn comes, tomorrow will be a new day, and a new life will be Daylight. Those that can sing with me. Daylight. I will. Oh, I forgot. Daylight. I must. What was it again? Daylight. I must
think of the old days. I was
I
beautiful
must,
then.
I must wait for the sunrise. Okay. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new life, and I mustn't give in. When the dawn comes, tonight will be a memory too. And a new day will